Welcome to Legendary Folklore, the home of epic tales, ancient legends, and mythical battles that transcend time. Here, we bring history to life, weaving the stories of legendary figures whose names echo through the ages. In today's tale, two of history's greatest conquerors, separated by over 1,000 years, stand on the same battlefield. One, a brilliant strategist from Macedonia, whose empire stretched from Greece to the edge of India. The other, a ruthless warlord from the Mongolian steppes, who built the largest land empire the world has ever known. What would happen if Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan clashed in a battle for ultimate supremacy? This is a war of minds, a test of tactics, a clash of civilizations. This is Alexander the Great versus Genghis Khan, the battle that shaped an alternate history. The world had never witnessed conquerors as ambitious and brilliant as Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. Though separated by more than a millennium, fate wove an alternate timeline where their paths crossed, leading to the most legendary war in history. Their empires, built on conquest, discipline, and an unyielding thirst for dominance, now collided on the vast plains of Central Asia, where only one ruler could emerge victorious. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the kingdom of Macedon, destined for greatness from the moment he took his first breath. As a son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias, he was raised in an environment where power and ambition dictated every aspect of life. From an early age, he was trained in the art of war, governance, and philosophy. Aristotle, the great philosopher, became his mentor, instilling in him not only wisdom, but also an insatiable curiosity about the world. As a child, Alexander was not like other boys. While others played, he studied military campaigns, dissecting past battles and imagining future victories. His father, a brilliant general, ensured that his son was exposed to warfare early, allowing him to witness battles firsthand. By the time Alexander was a teenager, he had already displayed an extraordinary ability to lead, commanding soldiers twice his age with strategic brilliance. When Philip II was assassinated, Alexander, only 20, ascended the throne. His first task was securing his rule. Rival factions sought to challenge his claim, but he crushed all opposition with ruthless efficiency. The Greek city-states, restless and eager for independence, soon learned that Alexander was not a ruler to be tested. Within a short time, he had unified Greece under his rule, silencing rebellions and ensuring that every soldier in his army was utterly loyal to him. With Greece secured, his eyes turned eastward toward the Persian Empire, the most formidable power of the time. His campaign against Persia was nothing short of legendary. At the Battle of Granicus, he demonstrated his ability to outmaneuver larger forces with speed and precision. At Issus, he personally led the charge that routed King Darius III's forces, striking terror into the hearts of the Persians. The defining moment came at Gaugamela, where his strategic brilliance shattered the Persian army, securing him the title of King of Asia. Unlike other conquerors, Alexander was not content with mere victory. He sought to merge the cultures of the East and West, believing that unity was the key to an everlasting empire. He encouraged intermarriages, adopted local customs, and spread Greek influence across the lands he conquered. But even as he celebrated his triumphs, his hunger for expansion remained unsatisfied. He pushed further eastward, drawn by the promise of new lands, new challenges, and new glory. Across the vast Mongolian steppes, another legend was being forged. Nearly 1,500 years after Alexander's time, a child named Temujin was born into a world of brutal survival. His father, a Mongol chieftain, was poisoned by rivals, leaving Temujin and his family abandoned and vulnerable. Without a clan to protect them, they were left to fend for themselves, surviving on roots and scraps while enduring the harsh Mongolian winters. As he grew, Temujin learned the ways of the land. He understood that loyalty was fickle, that power could shift in an instant, and that only strength could secure one's place in the world. Betrayed, enslaved, and hunted, he refused to break. Instead, he rose, Through cunning and sheer force of will, he gathered a small band of loyal warriors, forging alliances with other clans. Slowly, he united the fractured Mongol tribes under his rule, proving his leadership through unwavering determination and tactical brilliance. By 1206, he had achieved the impossible. The Mongol tribes, once divided by blood feuds and rivalries, now stood united under one banner. Temujin was declared Genghis Khan, universal ruler. His ambition knew no bounds. He built an army unlike any the world had ever seen. Disciplined, adaptable, and devastatingly effective. With speed and strategy, his warriors swept across Asia, destroying mighty empires with ruthless efficiency. From China to Persia, his conquests left a trail of broken kingdoms in their wake. Genghis Khan was not merely a warrior. He was a visionary. He implemented strict military discipline, organized his forces into highly efficient units, and created advanced communication systems using relay stations. His psychological warfare tactics and feigned retreats confused his enemies, making his army nearly invincible. Unlike Alexander, he did not seek to merge cultures. He sought to dominate them, ensuring that all who resisted him were either crushed or subjugated. By the time word of Alexander's campaigns reached him, Genghis Khan had already established the largest contiguous empire in history. But now, a new challenge loomed on the horizon. It was only a matter of time before Alexander and Genghis Khan learned of each other's existence. Alexander, having conquered Persia, set his sights on the lands beyond the Hindu Kush, unaware that he was marching toward an empire that rivaled his own. Meanwhile, Genghis Khan, having subjugated vast territories, heard of the Macedonian warlord whose armies never knew defeat. An emissary from Alexander's court rode into the Mongol camp, bearing gifts and a proposal. The message was clear. Alexander was a ruler of the known world, and Genghis Khan would do well to acknowledge his supremacy. The Mongol ruler listened, amused. He had faced emperors before, Chinese, Khwarezmian, Persian, and none had withstood his might. He sent back only a single reply: "No man rules the sky. If you want to claim the world, take it from me." Alexander, upon receiving the message, smiled. He respected confidence, but he also knew arrogance when he saw it. There would be no diplomacy. There would be only war. The battlefield was a vast plain near the Sir Darya River. Alexander, ever the tactician, positioned his army strategically, using the river to guard one flank. His phalanx formed an unbreakable wall of spears. His companion cavalry stood poised for the decisive charge, and his archers were prepared to counter the famed Mongol horse archers. Genghis Khan, studying his opponent, deployed his warriors with precision. His horse archers formed the front line, ready to unleash a relentless storm of arrows. His heavy cavalry remained hidden, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He had faced powerful armies before, but this time, he faced a man as brilliant as himself. The battle began at sunrise. The Mongol archers struck first, sending waves of arrows into the Macedonian ranks. Shields raised. The phalanx held its ground, but Alexander knew he could not withstand such an assault indefinitely. He ordered his archers to return fire, and soon, the battlefield became a deadly exchange of missiles. Genghis Khan initiated a feigned retreat, a tactic that had destroyed countless enemies before. His warriors turned and fled, luring the Macedonian cavalry into pursuit. But Alexander, wise to this trick, halted his forces before they could be led into a trap. Instead, he ordered a countermaneuver, striking at the Mongol flanks with precision. The battle raged on for hours. Alexander led charges that shattered Mongol formations, while Genghis Khan outmaneuvered and harassed the Macedonian forces, preventing them from gaining a decisive advantage. As night fell, neither side had claimed victory. Both commanders, recognizing each other's brilliance, withdrew to regroup. The war was far from over, but fate had other plans. Before the next battle could take place, illness struck Alexander. His body, worn down by years of relentless conquest, began to fail. Meanwhile, rebellions in the east forced Genghis Khan to turn his attention elsewhere. Though their battle ended unresolved, the clash between Alexander and Genghis Khan became the stuff of legend. Their names would echo through history, forever linked as two conquerors who had stood at the pinnacle of power.